excuse me, if you don't let your frame get blown out, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, you're just non-responsive to it. Cool. You know,
Yeah.
where a lot of guys mess up is they get butt hurt, or they try to defend themselves, or they try to gain rapport by, basically, when she's like, you know, like say for instance, you know, I know that you're into cars and things like that.
Yeah.
Say she's very eco-friendly, and she's like, how could you drive those kind of cars? They don't get good gas mileage, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, you know, well, you know, I don't always drive my car like that. Sometimes, you know, I take an Uber or something like that because I don't, you know, it's not as harmful to the environment and the, you know, or whatever, because you're just trying to get in with her, you know. Obviously, you lose,
Yeah.
you know, at that point. But if you're just like, I like my car. But anyway, so what I was saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not completely non-responsive to it, then you win,
Yeah.
you know? So, anybody else that kind of got anything out of live events that been to?
I guess I can, I kind of view this as something like a martial arts, right? Where you can watch all the YouTube videos, content you want. But the second you kind of get out there, you know, and get punched in the face. The first time, you know, all that goes out the window. What live events like this or other ones do is kind of somebody sits there and kind of physically reinforces it, like, I don't know, you're talking like this, adjust like that, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the same way a martial arts instructor would do.
Well, like Mike Tyson has a saying, everybody's got a plan until they get hit. You know, and so, you know, so yeah, to your point, you know what I mean? Like, once you take that initial hit, that might change the direction. I like to think of it kind of as verbal Aikido. You know, like,
Interesting.
I'm using their objections or their shit tests or frame test, however you want to word it, you know. I'm just letting it, just like in Aikido, you know, like someone throws a punch, you're using their body weight and momentum against them. You know, you just sidestep it.
Taekwondo, is that what? Like the same idea too?
I'm not.
It's using momentum against the person.
I know Aikido does that for sure. I don't know about Taekwondo.
I don't like to. You don't want to meet resistance with resistance. You know what I mean? Because then you get into a battle and a fight and blah blah blah. I like to, you know what I'm saying, like try to, you know, like sidestep it.
Yeah.
And use it to my advantage. Okay. The thing is, like, the way I see it is when I'm engaged in talking to anybody, right? But especially, you know, in the dating world, talking to the opposite sex, when I'm talking to a young lady, every single word she says to me is like fuel. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's ammunition. She's giving me something. She's still, for one, still wasting her breath and her time talking to me. So, you know, I'm not doing too bad. Two is, like, I have to be able to listen. I think that's one of the hardest things that I had, and I know that guys I've taught had, is you're, like, especially in the beginning, like, I'm so, what do I say next, what do I say next, what do I say next, what do I say next?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the next part? And they don't really sit and just, like, enjoy the moment with the person, for one. Two, they're giving you all the tools and information that you need to kind of get to where you want to get to.
Right.
You know, you just have to learn how to take it and decipher it correctly. Now, like I said, that's probably going to take some time, but the truth is, like, the more people you talk to, the more experience you get, the more you're going to start to see patterns.
Yeah.
So,
patterns emerge, definitely. You know.
Does that make sense, anyone, what I just said? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have the same thing that what you were saying about not being able to be in the moment that you're thinking of the next piece.
Yeah, like emphatic listening.
I that a lot too, you know, because I don't know if it's an ADD thing. I'm sure that doesn't help, you know, but, you know, like I had.
You have ADD?
Yeah, and you want to go ride bikes?
I'm down.
It's an ADD joke. But anyway, yeah, anyhow, so.
I was thinking about something else. I have my own ADD.
You were thinking of the next piece.
That's an ADD joke. No.
But, yeah, anyway, so I used to just really struggle with that in terms of, thinking, because my game is so structured and regimented that, like, okay, got to make sure I remember how this was worded correctly, and things like that. But once you kind of have the theory behind it, and you've done it enough times, it's like, like anything else, it pretty much becomes second nature. Now I don't have to think about it. But early on, I definitely had to, just because, well, A, you're nervous, B, or at least I was. Maybe you weren't, Mike, but I was nervous.
I'm nervous all the time.
Huh?
Nervous all the time.
I'm nervous right now.
Yeah.
But, being nervous and things like that, your brain gets, I don't know, flustered, and it's not concise, and because it's not internalized yet. Just like you can use the same kind of analogy with martial arts. You can learn just enough martial arts to get yourself hurt. Because it's not internalized. You're like thinking about what you need to do, and but in the meantime, someone's fucking you up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's how I learned how to play poker. Lost a lot of money. Had to pay for your lessons. And that's kind of how it is with this too. You have to pay, what I'm saying, and put in the work and your dues. And that's why, like whenever I, go through the motions and teach people, is like you have to commit time to it. Okay, and I understand that not everybody can, but there's a lot of things you can commit time to doing, not just going out, but like there's so many different resources and places, and I know one young gentleman who wasn't able to go out a lot, so he turned to fucking pretty much every one of his coworkers and hitting that, what I'm saying, like anybody pretty much could, which is, I don't suggest, but we all do what we got to do in order to, what I'm saying, be more advanced socially. My job, I did door-to-door canvassing. Like, I was forced to learn how to talk to people. I was forced to put myself in, like, shitty positions, and, like, it didn't matter how I felt. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if I was, like if I didn't feel good, if I was tired, if I was sad, this, that. Like, it was my job, so when it came to this, I would push myself and go out a lot because I really, really, really wanted to get better at this because I suck at talking to women. I actually just ran into because we're in Dearborn Heights, and this is where I grew up essentially. My family went from Southwest Detroit, and then I moved to Dearborn Heights, and then I spent the next like 20 years essentially here, and I ran into somebody I knew and known him for about 20 years or so now. But I haven't seen him in 13, 14, 15 years, something like that. And we were just hanging out the other day, and he's like, "Weren't you like really into fat chicks? Like, wasn't that interesting?" I was like, "No, that's Andy." Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember much from that time, but I can honestly say like, it's a pleasure, dude. It's a pleasure to have you guys over here. It's a pleasure to fucking be able to do this.
Yeah.
And I hope you understand. I believe and have seen, and I didn't believe, like with Dale, I didn't believe he actually had game. I thought he was one of those perpetrators trying to sell a house or something. But so we went out with him a few times and saw him, and like he's really fucking like good. He's really like he does like a lot of the same things that I do. So this is the launch event for Strategic Gentlemen, and we sat around for hours trying to figure out a name of what we wanted to do with this, because it's not just a fucking fly by night. This is not a side job for me. Okay, this is not something that I'm doing as a hobby. This is not something I'm doing because I want a fucking couple dollars from some guys. Okay, there's a lot of guys, especially around this area, that they see it as an opportunity to make a couple bucks. I'm gonna perfect fucking job. I'm gonna go out You know what I'm saying? When I have some people with me, I'm gonna look like a fucking rock star because I'm gonna go talk to girls because that's what I'm good at. Is I'm talking to girls. I can't really like teach too well, but I can talk to girls myself. You know, monkey see, monkey do. Just do what I do, right? What's wrong with you? Why can't you go and talk to girls like I talk to them?
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. So like, you know, there's a lot of people that are starting to emerge and do things just out of you know, like a money grab or just like taking advantage of people. And you know, like I you know, for one, am extremely passionate about this. And that's what a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and that's a lot of people I've talked to, like after they meet me and talk to me, they feel that from me. And this is why I wanted to do the live stream as, or the first event as a live stream for one. Two, that's why I wanted to start the show and the live streams, is I want people to get to know me. The truth is, fools will fucking drive hours, 5-6 hours one way, and then 5-6 hours back to listen to a bunch of dudes say the same shit they can watch on YouTube, not get to ever, you know, like ask the people anything, and do they really like learn something, or do they get like the feel goods real quick?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, they feel like they know these people, they feel like they respect these people because there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of dogma, and so like, you know, not too long ago we had a client that you know, we've been working with, and you know, he excelling, doing phenomenal, right? And you know, he was making out with a girl in the club, and we were talking about this a little bit the other day, but he was making out with a girl in the club, and he used a line that he learned from you know, another large company. It sounds funny, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe certain people can say it. I know I personally can't. And that's the thing, is like, there's not just one, you know what I'm saying, shoe that fits all. Everybody's different, you know? And that's why I want to have something to where, like, you can ask your in particular questions. You can ask what's going on with you, because it's not like everything is going to work for everybody. And the only thing that, like, for me personally, whenever I coach and mentor and teach people, is I don't put myself in your position, right? I can't do that. I'm not you, right? I have to be from what I gather from you and talk to you, I have to figure out what kind of person you are and what's going to be the best move for you from there on out. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever it goes shopping, you know, when I do the avatar and the, you know, getting the clothes and whatnot, not everybody's going to wear the same thing, for one. Two, I don't dress everybody up like a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because I'm really, like, I like to be coordinated and top down, blah, blah. And most of the guys that I've worked with are always worried that when I go shopping, I'm going to make them a little clone of me of some sort. You know, and that's not what I'm here to do. You're not me, I'm not you. You know, the goal is to be the best you that you can be, and me to be the best me I can be. And, you know, like, there's just a lot of bullshit in this game, okay? Because this is why I'm passionate about it. And if you don't understand this, well, sorry. I am a beta male in my heart of hearts. You know, you can look around, I got a bunch of electronics because I like fucking video games. You know, I've played Magic the Gathering professionally. You know, like, I was not good with women whatsoever. And, you know, the learning some skills and pushing myself has changed my life. You know what I'm saying? It's changed my life for so many great things and opportunities and people I've met as a result of learning how to effectively communicate and express myself. And I don't see this and do this because, oh, I can make a quick buck. Oh, I can get somebody to fucking, you know what I'm saying, like, buy a whole bunch of stupid-ass products and books and watch some videos here and there and still have the same problems, you know? So, like, I'm not doing this for a money grab. I'm doing this because, you know, like, it's changed my life. And I believe that everybody has a different set of skills. And for some reason or not, I'm able to kind of, like, you know, see what people are doing and help, you know, like, because I've been there. It's like everything that the guys, I don't know if it's the same with you, but everything whenever I see guys do, like, they do it like incorrectly, or they're just you know, ignorant to, they don't know what they're doing. I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, nobody starts out just being a G.
No,
You know,
not at all.
nobody.
And so, yeah, I'm like, I'm the kind of person that I see a lot of individuals taking advantage of myself, weak men, at their core, and like the weak men can become strong. Weak men, beta men can become alpha men. We talked about that on one of the other streams, is like charisma. Charisma's huge. And, oh, my camera went off. So, technical difficulties. But yeah, so like I honestly just want to see like you guys come out. I want to see you guys post on your own social medias, on group stuff. Like I want to see the success. I want to hear about it. I want to know like this actually still works for people. You know what I mean?
Well, it does. It does still work for people, and I think everybody here is probably a testament to that. I mean, you guys know, you guys have been out, you guys have been doing your thing, and and to his point, everything works. It's just what works best for the individual. What works for one person might not work for somebody else, and that's completely okay. It's just a matter of getting down to what your strong suits are, what your sticking points are, and then trying to get your sticking points to where they're not sticking points anymore and enhancing your strong suits. I think it basically comes down to this. I think that game, pickup, whatever you want to call it, kind of comes down to a few things, and then within those few things is like 1,000 different nuances. But I think it basically comes down to who you are, what you do, and when and how you do it. And if you're able to, present who you are, you're able to do it correctly, and know when and how to do it, then you pretty much got it all. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. But it's just all those like little nuances and things like that people, run into issues, and I'm no different, Mike's no different. Everybody has sticking points, and nobody's got the perfect game of all time. And if anybody tells you that they do, and they've never...
It's close. My game is close. It's close.
But I mean, if somebody tells you they bat 1,000, like they're not being realistic, So in terms of sticking points and things like that, is there anything that like you guys want to, address or ask about or anything like that? And that goes for anybody that's listening or watching the live stream right now. If you're watching this, we're trying to be interactive, and please post any kind of feedback, questions, comments, concerns.
Tell us we suck, whatever.
Yeah. We just want it to be interactive. We're not here just to talk to ourselves and that kind of thing. Because we could do that without microphones and super expensive gear. We could just do that on our phones for free.
We're just sitting around anyway.
So.
So what the fuck's going on? Why? Okay, for real. Why do you guys come here?
To learn.
To learn what?
More about what I don't know about, I guess.
What do you not know about?
I know a lot about... I've studied a lot about game, but I know that there's always more I can learn. I mean, we all want to get better to a certain degree, and if we're not learning, we're not going to get better. If we're not trying, going out, we're not going to get better.
Yeah, you don't want to be stagnant.
Yeah.
But what's some of the things that you're trying to learn about?
Like, actually, me right now, so I've been focusing a lot of my career, so I haven't been going out nearly as much as I was, as little as I was before. But, and I noticed myself kind of slipping in certain aspects, going back to frame control. I noticed myself feeding more off what other people were saying instead of really controlling the conversation and keeping it in my frame.
So you're being reactive instead of proactive.
Yeah, exactly. And I was noticing that wasn't working very well.
Right.
But again, that was me just doing my thing aside from game.
And why do you think that is?
Why do I think I was doing that?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I guess game wasn't in the front of my head.
All right, that's your problem.
Yeah.
If you truly have it internalized, it's not something that you have to think about.
Yeah.
In other words, I understand not being able to go out as much as you'd like and that kind of thing. I with you 100%. I totally get that. The thing is that if you have it internalized and if it's ingrained into who you are, you don't have to worry about going out because, like, look, I know you. You're not like a newbie. You're not, day one where it's like, all right, man, go open 100 sets. Just so you get the experience of like, I can't open a set. You're way past that. So the thing is that you don't have to go out there and open 1,000 girls. What you have to do is take what you've learned, have it ingrained in who you are, and then you're just operating at that level. You're not forcing it or like kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like thinking of the next thing to say, and you're in the moment. It's just a part of who you are. I kind of liken it to, I've used this example 100 times, like driving a car. When you get your driver's license or your permit rather, you're kind of like, all right, 10 and 2, okay, pushing the gas, all right, what's the speed limit? It's 45, okay, keep it at 45. Oh, coming up at an intersection, where's the brake? Oh, there's the brake, all right, But within a year, you're pretty much just like, driving, not even thinking about, you're not thinking about driving, you're thinking about where you're going or running late or, or, you know what I mean, whatever, your mind isn't on driving, you're just doing it, and once that's ingrained in who you are, see, part of the problem is you're compartmentalizing. You're saying, all right, this is work time, this is school time, this is
game time.
Yeah, this is game time. Well, I don't have time for game time, so let's shrink that box a little bit, and these other boxes get bigger, instead of it just being all lifetime. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of compartmentalizing it. Once you get to a certain point, you say I'm crazy, but to me, like going out just strictly to game, once you get to a certain point, it's kind of loser to me. You know what I mean? It really is. Because
I get the day game one a lot.
yeah, I mean, it just kind of because it's like you should have better things to do than actually go do pickup, in my mind. But if you have all those qualities that you learned doing pickup, and it's a part of who you are, you don't have to go out and game. You just are game incarnate. You know what I mean? So when you're at work and there's a girl there that you want to kick it with, you know what to do. You just do it. It's not even about knowing what to do. You just are. You're going out with your buddy to the bar or whatever. The bartender's cute. Bam. Here you are.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, it's not game time. Not talking to her. You know what I mean?
That's
This
one thing I wasn't thinking about. Like,
right.
Because I'm definitely doing that where I'm thinking work time, game time, and when I'm at work, even a new girl starts and she's cute, that switch flips.
Yeah.
Which also, I mean, working there, my social status and everything really, really helps.
Yeah.
It actually makes my life really easy.
Right. Well,
But,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I gotta internalize it more, definitely.
Right. And the thing is, man, at work and things like that, I say that just for the context of the conversation, but you gotta be careful, obviously, and then keep your mind on your job and stuff like that so you have a job. But at the same time, if you have those qualities that you've learned doing this, inner strength and work, just self-help development and things like that get you to a certain level, that should just shine through. Now all you got to do is not fuck it up. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the new cute girl at the job or whatever, you're training her, she just might throw herself at you. You don't even have to put jeopardize your job or something like that because she took something the wrong way or you know what I mean. So again, I'd still be careful with that, but
well, yeah, it's kind of funny because my reputation for training people is I've trained 3 girls there and I slept with all 3 of them. So
well, I get it, man. Like,
I know. know.
I mean, it's almost the
I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
You know, like I worked at McDonald's, and for years I was a manager.
Yeah.
You know, and I fucked a lot of McHoes. A couple fat ones. But like, you know, like it helped me with experience for one, and two, like I was working a lot. That's where, you know what I'm saying, like that's where I was. So I think like I was saying, that you kind of have to be able to adjust and be on the fly, but to be smart about it, please. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black to an extent because, you know, I've definitely done some nefarious things with people I've,
No, not you.
you know,
Not you.
clients and such, but yeah, I mean, but nonetheless, it's obviously something you got to be cognizant of and that kind of thing. So yeah, man, I mean, to me, the best way to internalize it is to just do it.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Just keep doing it. You know, don't rest on your laurels and let yourself get rusty and things like that.
Which
And
I have been doing.
yeah, I mean, you know, just be more proactive instead of reactive. So is that you like you talked about leading conversations and things like that. One of the best things that can help somebody in terms of, you know, and this is any self-development. This isn't just game or whatever, is just being self-correcting. If you notice yourself doing something wrong and you know what the right way to do it is, just do it right now. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like, well, dang, man, you know, this isn't going well. I'll pick it up next week. No, just do it right then. If you notice yourself in a conversation and you're just kind of being sheep and just letting everybody else, you know, run the exchange, you notice yourself doing that, correct it right then. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's the best way to do it. I mean, just self-correction in the moment.
Yeah, and I think that self-correction is one thing, but you kind of have to be pointed out on what you're doing incorrect. You know, and that's, you know, part of, I came up with 12 steps, okay? And step 10 is about continuously looking at what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and taking like an inventory essentially of it and fixing that. You know, but like it's the same principles, and it's really like once I learned some stuff, it's not like, oh, I know everything. You know, I've fucked 5 girls this week. You know, like I did it.
I've arrived.
I've arrived. I'm at my first threesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the man now. You know, my friends like gave me this little. I think it's still on my Facebook somewhere, but it's like this little WWE belt where they put on like PUA Guru or something on there, and
They should have gave you a strap on.
the fuck? What kind of threesome do you think I was having? Oh wait, I guess it makes sense now. There's the double ones and everything. But anyways, I got pictures. It wasn't used on me. So you're more of the weird shit, not me.
I'm not into that.
But yeah, like just because I had a little bit of success doesn't mean that I got this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just because I had like some good experiences and stories and whatnot doesn't mean I'm fucking like I'm a know-it-all. Like I'm always learning. You know, always learning, and I that's why I love doing this, man. Is because like it helps me just be I feel like a better person. And what I mean by like a better person is I had somebody fucking come and attack me on Facebook, my own personal Facebook, because they see this as manipulation, right? Has anybody here told somebody that they're in the pickup or this or that, and they said, oh, that's like manipulating girls and manipulating people?
No.
You into that? Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Definitely.
What, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Like 3 times this week, probably.
3 times?
No, I'm just.
You're just telling everybody. So
You gotta
what's your guys' thoughts and feelings on people's perception of that?
Well, I have an interesting story on this. So I went out to a dinner. A friend of mine was there with a date that they met online or whatever. And we're just joking around. We're like, hey, what was your pickup line? And he got super offended at like he hates that stuff and how evil and fucked up it is. And fast forward a few weeks later, I'm asking my friend, I was like, hey, what's up with that guy? And she was like, no, he was super creepy. We didn't do anything. And then, like, after a few dates, he started texting her all about, like, his blowjob fetish, like, no kissing, no escalation to that. He went from 0 to 100. I was like, in my head, I was like, maybe if he learned game a little bit.
Is blowjobs a fetish? I mean,
I didn't get the whole story, but basically, like, that's his thing, and he wants, like, he's all about
My thing, too.
it's like, I have this fetish about sex.
It was just a very interesting, just observation I made on how, like, people react one way, but then, you know, they're oppressing it, and then once they actually try to, like, express themselves.
I'll go out on a limb. Obviously, I wasn't there, and I don't know any of the people involved. But I'll go out on a limb and say that guy's a white knight.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't really
You know,
met him at one time.
And the reason I say that is because that very same reaction from that guy is the reaction that I get from women when we talk about pickup. You know what I mean? Or whatever, you know? And, like, exactly the same. Kind of like, you know, blah, 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 like, you know, whatever. You know the routine. Just about, like, it's manipulative and it's, you know, whatever. It's sleazy and that kind of thing.
The stuff that you do is.
That's cute. But yeah, you know, so anytime that I hear, like, it seems like a guy has a common female opinion, it's always like that dude's such a beta white knight. You know, he's just like, I'm a male feminist. Like that guy on with the Ross Jeffries video. Man, that guy was on. It was just so cringy. It just, man, it was making my skin crawl watching this guy.
It was the early 90s.
I don't care when it was. Then, man. But yeah, man. I totally know what
Yeah,
you.
that was an interesting scenario. That I was like,
I know throughout the last, like, 10, 11 years, I've gone through that a lot. A lot with people that will find out, you know what I'm saying, that I know this stuff, or I use this stuff, or I'm doing this, or doing that. It's constantly, it's manipulation. You're a fucking manipulator. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's a manipulator. Manipulation is like how humans survive. It's how we find mates. We manipulate ourselves in the sense of we don't wake up out of bed and go to work and go pick up girls and do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we groom ourselves, we shave, we do our hair, we put on clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a form of manipulation. We're always on stage selling ourselves one way or another, because we are looking for.
Yeah, the world's a stage.
Yeah.
For everybody.
So, like, that's to me, that's manipulation. I'm a very, very strong advocate on being brutally honest.
Yeah.
You know, almost to a point. You know, if anybody's gone out with me, you know, I say.
Some of the things I've said that he's told me to say, I've actually internalized that. Because when I saw that on your Facebook, I was like, Mike is my mentor. And I've turned into the guy that says things that people don't want to hear, but it's the truth.
Is Mike's voice your inner dialogue now?
Something like that. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm brutally honest for the most part.
It feels good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, and people respect me more for saying it.
Yeah. Like, at first, I needed a structure, right? I needed to know a structure. I needed to know that I could, like, you know, go in and kind of say whatever. You know, use these canned material, use the, you know what I'm saying, this line, that line. But, like, once I started gaining my own personal confidence, like, I started to push myself to say different things. And, you know, this is one of the most important lessons I've learned is about being true to myself all the way through the end. You know, like, I've dealt with a lot of guys that will come in high energy, right at the beginning. And as soon as it gets into, like, the mid, or like maybe 5 minutes of talking, right?
Yeah.
Because that's who he really is.
Right.
You know, that's bad. That's bad that you're a lower energy vibration person, but don't fucking, you know what I'm saying, like start off on that foot. The first impression's the last impression. You ever hear that before?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, like, I like to, you know, kind of come in and within the first 10 to 15 seconds in my open is you're going to get to know what this is going to be like. You know, this is going to be fun for me, fun for you, and it's just, we're going to cut a lot of the bullshit out. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you going to say something to the effect of, you know, telling people about PUA and getting an adverse
Oh
opinion?
no, I was gonna add on to the part where the guy called out Mike and being pretty up blue.
Oh,
blue-
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, because that's what he taught me.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you know, I'm done. I'm done having that argument with people. You know, I just am. There's just certain people that you cannot reason with, and just, you know, you're never going to convince them. They don't want to be convinced. They don't want to have an open mind or hear what you have to say. They just want to be right. And so, it just, I'm at the point now, it's just like, adios. I don't need to have this conversation for the 15,000th time. You know, it goes nowhere. So, you know, but what I do find oftentimes is that, you know, when the cat's out of the bag and, you know, like, all right, so you're in a game or pickup or something like that, goddamn, do they have 1,000 questions? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that in and of itself, as long as you hold frame. See, the thing is the chumps, that's where they fail. You get called out, they're like, the jig is up, I'm out of here, you know what I mean? Like, no, you play it through, you know, have a conversation about that. Hold frame, because you still have all those attractive qualities, you know, just because they know that you know a thing or two about game, you know, so what? Who cares? You know? I don't know, that's how I feel about it anyway.
I don't really give a fuck. Like, yeah, I know about game, but okay, so I'm still, everything I'm telling you still is the truth.
Right.
You know, like, it doesn't change who I am. You know, do you know how to crochet? You know, if she says yes, I'll be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know? Yeah, only old people do that. Right? I could put her in a box too. This is kind of my manipulation. But that's what I'll do is I like to flip it on them, I like to challenge them, I like to, you know, like if you want to come at me like that, then fine, we could do this. I'm gonna win, but like let's really dive into what your beliefs are. And I think that Dale and I really discovered something the last couple of streams that we've had.
Oh yeah.
Because
I was just thinking about that too. Is you were?
Go ahead, then you take it away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just sound like you were building this something, and now it's.
No. I was then building. We had a couple young ladies on different streams, right? And they would be so. This is the way, right? This is what I believe in, and you know what I'm saying, like the women are this way, guys are this way. This is blah blah blah. And then we'd be like, well, what about this? And challenge them a little bit. And their response every single time was,
You're right.
that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But they were so 100%. So like, that's been my experience too in the field. I guess I just didn't realize it as much as I did just watching it on the show.
Yeah.
Is that like, no matter what she might say at the moment,
Yeah.
if you can kind of turn that, you know, that one way of thinking off and open up her mind, like you become so much more, I think, in her world, in her life.
Yeah.
One. Two, there's a lot like. It shows the power of communication.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, it wasn't even a begrudging like, no, you're right. It was like,
yeah, so just like ended like a fight or debate or
yeah,
something.
it was like, huh, you're right. Huh, okay, that makes sense.
I never
All right.
looked at it that way.
Yeah,
You know?
you're right. And it was something that they were like cemented in until they were challenged by somebody who is, I guess,
Willing to oppose them.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's the biggest thing is that like most guys that I've come across, myself included, would be very catering to the woman, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I like horror movies. So I'll be like, you know, like, what kind of movies you like? She'd be like, well, I like this, I don't really like horror movies. And I'd be like, well, yeah, horror movies okay. You
Yeah,
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying?
Like, oh, I like that too. Whatever
Yeah.
she said. This is like what I was talking about with the eco-friendly chick. You know what I mean? Yeah, same exact thing. So I think that we probably covered enough about ourselves and things like that.
You're talking about me forever.
Well, I know, but
My favorite subject.
but I mean, again, we're opening up this forum. We're going to be doing this the third weekend of every month and everything. We're going to continue to post the events and have the live streams and interact in the Facebook group and everything. But here tonight, the whole agenda is we want you guys to kind of set the agenda. If there's something that you have a question about, a sticking point.
If you want to
something-
talk shit about us, if you want to talk shit about other guys in Michigan, if you want to talk shit about other big companies that are doing pickup, please fucking say something. You're not on camera. Please say something.
Yeah, you're anonymous.
You're anonymous.
I
love talking about that stuff. That's my favorite. You know?
But yeah, I mean, again, we want you to kind of set the agenda because that's what we're here for, is to help you guys. It's not a forum for us to spit dogma and game theory and like, oh, I think this and
Force comics down your throat.
yeah, and all that stuff. That's not really what it's about. We wanted to kind of, I mean, you all know us, but we, with the stream and everything, we wanted to interject, what it is that we're trying to do, where we're trying to take this. We're trying to grow this community out and trying to make it something bigger, not just, a secret society that only 10 people are a part of. We want it to get bigger, and because I mean, truth be told, the more people that are involved, the better. A lot of guys have this scarcity mindset where it's like, oh, I can't let other people know about game and all this and that because that's going to worsen my chances. That's loser behavior, because what if you have a sticking point that guy might be able to help you with? You say it all the time. There's 3.7 billion women on this planet. You know what I mean? Like something like that. So it's like
3.6 or something.
all right, splitting hairs, but you get the point. The whole thing is that there's enough for everybody. And so, and that being said, we want you guys to set the agenda to tell us what it is that you want. What you want from us that we can help you with. So.
What are you not getting?
Yeah.
What are you not getting from? Because there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. There's a lot of, books. What are you not getting?
So, so there's this whole like framing, right? It's like, the beginning stage of the seduction phase or whatever you call it, then like relationship game. They put all these boxes around these different phases of the relationship. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Is there like a difference between the two? I mean, because it seems like, with the whole, how would I say, right, being like more of an asshole style thing. And then as you move in relationships, sometimes those things don't seem to fly, or they're a little bit more sensitive toward that type of behavior. Is that something that, what are your guys' thoughts on that type of dynamic, I guess?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that as long as you're authentic, you're congruent, you're being who you are at your best self at all times, I don't think it matters. I think that, obviously you're going to play a situation a little bit differently on your second date versus your 10th year of marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's different nuance to each of those things, but at the end of the day, if you still hold frame, you're authentically you, you're at your best self, you're striving to become better, all those things, all those qualities, I think that you shouldn't have a problem. And if you do have a problem, it's likely because she can't get with it or handle it, or it's on her. It's not on you, because you are the one that's trying to improve yourself. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's trying to strengthen the relationship by making yourself stronger, so you're the one that's really pushing forward to try to make that a stronger bond, a stronger relationship, and if she can't get with that, that's on her, man. Mm-hmm. So basically, again, just as long as you are the same all the way through and through, I don't think that you'll have a problem.
Thank you.
Dale's way more of the relationship expert than I am. For consistency, I'm really good at now I have like multiple women that know about each other. They know that it's not really like a boyfriend girlfriend thing. It's we have an intimate sexual relationship, and everybody what I'm saying it's different with each one of them. And that's the thing is to piggyback off what Dale was saying is it's congruency. It's being the same person, right? And whenever I'm not, that's when I get called out for one.
Okay.
And I don't. Of course, my life's gonna look different when I'm a single male living on my own with 2 cats than when I'm a guy who's living with a woman or been dating somebody for months or a year or so. My life's gotta look different. You can go out and do the same things, which is cool. If you got one of my favorite things is the bisexual girlfriends, is because we can go out and challenge each other to go and pick up. Have you ever done that?
No. I mean, I've made some attempts and didn't really work out. So.
No. There's got to be like a fun challenge, because that's the thing is that most women that I've talked to think they're way better at talking to girls, bigger girls than guys are, which it's easier for them. It's a hell of a lot easier. But I like to, I want to challenge myself, and the truth is, I don't really care if I win or not, because I'm winning. No matter what, right? If I go, I lost the bet, what I'm saying? You're both down there licking my dick. I'm okay with that. That's a bet I can, that's a challenge I can lose. And then I'm still going to try to do it again and try to win next time, so that way I'm really, whoo, but just make it fun. It doesn't have to be a whole different ball game essentially. You can bring those fun aspects and the main thing, the true thing is don't fucking put yourself around somebody you don't want to be with in the first place. Because that's what most guys do is oh well, I found it. She hits the marks. I was engaged because of a woman hitting the check marks, but I was fucking miserable with myself because I couldn't be me. Right?
Yeah.
I was miserable with myself because I couldn't be me. I'm not going to put myself in a position or in a relationship where either one of us are completely a slave over one another, or we change our personalities, because we're essentially together because we like each other's personalities. And the truth is, I folded to her, and I folded to trying to be something I'm not. It's the whole square holes, round pegs, and I was not happy. So now. I go into all my relationships with women, this is what it is. Literally just with a chick last night that she asked me, are you sleeping with anybody else? Are you seeing anybody else? Because this was our first time meeting. I said, yes. She goes, okay, thank you, thanks for being honest. I'm yeah. She goes, well, you stop that. I'm no. No, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If you and me are at that point, then yeah, I guess. But where it stands right now, I don't know. I'm not going to change for that. And if you're not okay with that, that's all right. Go fuck yourself. I'll talk to someone who is okay with that.
Right.
So,
Can I give you one pitfall to watch out for though, in that situation? Because I only mess with girls that are bi, for the most part, and if you're going out with her, gaming together, so to speak, when you're not doing that, make sure that or she knows that it's really about her, not about somebody else or anything like that, because I've had this situation come up more than once where they feel that they're just a worm on a hook, and all you want them for is to get a threesome. You know what I mean? So when you're not doing that, make sure that she knows that she's not a worm on a hook. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you've ever felt.
I don't care.
Well, if you're in a relationship, you care.
I never had that experience. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
I've had that more than once. You know.
No, it's usually more just like it's more fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I
It's-
mean,
it's super lighthearted.
it is fun
It's
and
like- it's
lighthearted
lighthearted.
when it's happening. I'm just saying
Yeah.
when it's not happening. The issue that I was running into with one girl in particular was that's all we were doing always.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
And so she kind of felt like, well, is this guy just trying to use me as bait to pull other women? You know? No. I mean, well, yeah, but no. I mean, it was both. You know what I mean? So I had to make sure that she realized I wasn't looking at it as bait, but it was something for us to do, and we had to kind of taper it down a little bit. You know what I mean? So is it like me and sometimes it was just about me and her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Does that answer your question? Like,
Yeah.
help a little bit?
I'm taking a lot of notes.
Oh, good. Good. There's gonna be a video. You know what I'm saying? You can go back and watch.
Yeah, that's true. All this stuff's being taken. You know, you guys aren't on video, but you know, you can always.
You can see that's what's going on right now, live across the planet. So, yeah, no, you can definitely come back and like, oh yeah, what did he say? That's what's cool about this. I think for a live event is like, for one,
It's almost like video notes.
It's almost like video notes, you know. So, just timestamp it. What else? What else you guys want to?
Have you ever been called a narcissist while you're running game?
No.
This has happened with the last two girls I've been talking to, and never before that it happened.
That's a good thing.
Oh.
Is that a
It's
shit
a good
test,
thing.
technically?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when they say this is my perception of it. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but once again we talked about earlier, the more they're talking and using their time and their breath, they're still interested. So when she's calling me a narcissist, the way my brain interprets that is saying from a little bit I know about communication, is she's challenging me to see if I'm really like this confident. She's challenging me to see like, is this just a show? Right? So, what I'm saying? Like, I think the desired result that she's looking for to kind of place you in that every other guy category is, no, I'm not. I'm just kind of like, I like you and blah blah, and something along those lines that kind of like, sum it down to where I'm not no narcissist. No, I feed baby kittens all the time. Like, I'm a nice guy and I love my mother. All that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just kind of going into to her box. You're going into jumping her through her hoops, and like I like to play off that. Like if they're gonna call me a narcissist, okay, let's say it all the way. Let's say some real narcissistic shit now. And like that, let your imagination run wild, essentially, because like once again, I feel like she's giving me freedom now.
Yeah.
To push it a little, even more.
One good response to something like that is to take it to the extreme by, yes, 1,000%, and then just go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
I'm a god amongst men.
Yeah, anything like that, So it's kind of like jokey, tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
I know is probably one of the best responses you're ever gonna learn. Like, you're a narcissist. I know. You're really handsome. I know. You're funny. I know. It always fucking hits, right? And and that's probably the most narcissistic shit a narcissist could say. You're so narcissistic. I know. And have fun with it, and smile. Smile with it. You can say anything. Get away with it.
I like saying something like that, then going on to say something else, and then in the middle of the next thing that I'm saying, be like, but thank you, and then go
Yeah,
back.
but thank you.
Then go back
See,
to what I was
you're
saying.
still nice. You're still nice at the end of the day.
I'm polite. Anybody else? Got anything?
Closing?
Huh?
Closing?
What about it? I mean, there's like that's
kind of
super
closing-
vague.
What kind of closing are we talking about here? Because there's a lot of different forms of closing.
What kinds of forms are there?
Phone numbers, Snapchats, Instagrams, Facebook.
It's not closing, bro. I'm talking closing.
All right,
We're talking
so-
about fucking.
Fucking.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying there's like there's a big misconception, especially in the communities, of like, oh, I kiss closed, I number closed, I this closed, you know. So when I ask you what's your close, what
Yeah,
does
just
that
make
mean?
sure we're on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Fuck you.
okay, so what about it?
Like,
You want to know where your shit goes? Like,
same night late type shit. How does it go? How do you do it? Like effectively. How do you get the mood right? How do you like take it from you guys just get back into the crib and then re-escalating, or if you should keep it escalated on the whole car ride?
Well, the context, it depends on the context of the scenario, I think. You know, for instance, if you're pulling a girl from a club to your house, or if it's like you're going on a date with this girl, and so you spent the last 3 hours together, the context is going to be a little bit different. You know what I mean? So you're saying, like, once you're back at, we'll just say, your place, is that where you're taking it from, or are you just saying, like, how to pull her from the club to your place? I'm just trying to zero in on exactly what it is that you're.
Like
Getting
from walking into the door to like sticking it in. So you already got it.
there's not much that really happens.
Do you have to like escalate, or do you just do it? Like,
We don't just
do
don't
it.
rape her.
That's not what I mean, man. I think I know you guys know what I'm trying to say though.
Well,
Are you still confused?
I mean, I think I get it. Do you know exactly what he's?
You're looking for a strategy for when the girl comes home to you into some sort of seduction area. Whether it be a hotel, your car, your house, a friend's house, wherever.
Yeah,
You know what
easy
I'm
way to
saying?
say is how does the seduction part, the S.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What's going through your mind when you know it's seduction time?
What's the next step?
Why?
Because I gotta make the next step.
Remember we talked about earlier about guys getting caught up on what to do next to get out of the moment? Right? Here's the truth. She came home with your ass.
Mm-hmm.
She took you home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're now one-on-one. There's an unspoken rule, essentially. When two, young opposite sex adults that are, what I'm saying, that met each other in a nightclub or a bar or this or that, they've been courting each other, it's kind of like, we know what's going on. All you have to do is, like they were saying, not fuck it up, right? And two, just lead it to that direction. Don't be too, I put a lot of value on myself with those kind of situations. So like, when I bring her back to my place, I have like a whole little routine where I kind of like, show her around a little bit, talk about whatever, and do my own little thing, while she's at my house. Because it shows them not like, I know why we're here. I don't have to like be hard up or tense. I don't have to be coming from a point of like scarcity.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what's going on here. You know what's going on here. And I'm not going to be pushy about it. And I'm not going to be like, I'm not planting all these little seeds and, come check out my drum machine in my bedroom underneath the blankets. I don't have to do all that. We already know. What we're doing now is essentially she's like seeing what the long term would look like with you. Right? So I feel as if like she's kind of committed to the physical sexual act of it. She's connected with you. She feels comfortable with you. And now it's kind of like the experiment of what are things going to be like as I see this guy? Because you're going to embark on a sexual relationship in which you're going to be coming back to each other's places pretty regularly. So she wants to see how's this guy act, right? So I just try to be as nonchalant and as easygoing as possible. So I'm not afraid to lose the girl. I think most guys are afraid to lose the girl. I know I've spent a lot of time in this game and learning, how to talk to women, being afraid to lose the girl.
I think a lot of guys go from 0 to 1,000 as soon as they hit the front door.
Yeah.
Instead of just like taking, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. If you just.
Also, like, what are you saying? And I'm not trying to, dog you. I'm just asking a question. Like, what are you saying prior to getting there? Right? Like, for one, it's most women that either come to my place or go to their place, it's kind of like we've already got the sexual escalation to the point to where that's the natural evolution of our, you know what I'm saying, of our endeavor in our relationship right now, is to move it to the next level, which is
Yeah.
privacy.
It only makes sense.
It only makes sense.
It's just, yeah.
So what's going on to where, like, what kind of things are you saying to, for one, get there? Two, why are we here?
Yeah, if you're not sexualizing anything, you know, like beforehand, you know, then it makes it awkward that all of a sudden, it's not, like you said before.
Are you talking about sex?
Most definitely.
Oh, okay, all right.
When?
Like I always fuck around like sometimes I open with like we're gonna have like 5 kids and shit, all boys. They love that shit.
That's good. I tell girls, I'm gonna put a baby in you tonight.
Exactly. I love that.
I
shit.
saw that from Julia.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good one.
And I just do a bunch of shit. Like they're sitting on my laps. Remember that one night? They're sitting on my lap all the time, making out, all that stuff. I don't know. I guess it's not really like it's just kind of like an anxiety type thing.
Okay, so what do you? Anxiety, I believe, stems from a fear.
Probably.
So what are you scared of?
Probably looking inexperienced. Cause I talk a lot of shit. I talk a lot of shit.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
You know, real shit.
So,
I talk a lot of shit too. You know.
you don't get addicted, girl. Don't keep blowing up my phone after, you know.
Yeah, you used to do that the other day.
Yeah.
You gave a girl, she like, what you said, 9.5 out of 10 on your scale.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just don't take advantage of the number now, right?
Use it wisely.
Use it wisely. Yeah, man, like, I get it. This is where, like, I feel like I kind of know this phase of the development. In I overcompensated a lot in the beginning for the parts that I lacked.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go even further than where, you know what I'm saying, like anywhere where I was near at. But like once I started to adjust and calibrate better, I started to bring that back and more in line with what it is I know. So it started to become more true to myself. Okay? So I don't have to, you know, talk about how, you know, amazing I am in bed and all these girls and, you know, I'm a sex writer or some stupid shit like that. I don't have to go through all those little fucking routines.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to display more of the natural, you know, the natural setting of what kind of person I am who is involved in women's lives. You know, I don't brag about the women in my lives. I don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying, brag about how great I am in bed. Because really I suck. Like, I don't care. You know? I just, like, I had to learn how to just pull, go all the way out and then pull back a little bit, right? So where it's more,
You better be pulling out.
yeah, I mean, you don't want to have 5 kids with some random bitch. But yeah, man, like I get where you're at, and you know, I've honestly been there.
Yep.
You know, I've been there, and when I started to just kind of to realize the truth, and the truth being that she likes me too. Women are way more sexual than guys are. Way more sexual than guys even think they are. You know, women talk about sex a lot more than men do.
Way more. Way more.
That was shocking news to me. But it makes sense. If I was to tell you a story about a girl that I had sex with, it's going to be something like, yeah, we hung out, you know, I met her on Tinder, she came over, you know, we fucked, and then, you know, like, woke up, sucked my dick, and we slept, right? Her story that she tells her friends, her
It's going to be
close
completely different.
friends, completely different, and way more detailed and intimate, you know? Oh, he had this fucking mole on his Arabic dick. And I'm just kidding. But you know, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, don't talk don't talk way more into like details about things, you know, than guys will. And they'll pick up off it. You know what I mean? Like, she'll tell a story about how she went home with this guy and then fucked him and then woke up with sucked dick and left. And then her friend will start telling her story about, you know what I'm saying, somebody she was just with and talking about sexual stuff. Usually as guys, we kind of switch the subject, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. So what about this? What's been going on with this? Blah, blah, blah. We're switching the subject. So women talk about sex way more than men do, okay? It's just that men are more, between the two of them, men are more like the leaders of sex happening, right? So they might talk about it more, but we're more the action behind it. Not pushiness, but we kind of lead things along the line. So I have a whole little routine I could tell you about it. It worked for one of my guys who wanted to just have a sexual relationship first, one night stand with a girl from Tinder, and he never did it before. So I said, okay, do this, and this, and I had a woman next to me while she was hearing me tell her what to do. She's like, you're gonna get that fucking boy murdered. Like, he's like, what I'm saying? She's not gonna want anything to do with him. And he went there at 7, and I got the phone call at about 9:30. He was like, yeah, she was a good lady. She made food. It was okay. She was fatter than she was. You know what I'm saying? He was not from this country originally, so he had like a really thick accent. But he did everything I told him to do, right? And not that that's like the foolproof plan of what to do. It's just that I taught him how to establish a certain frame right from, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the intimacy part. This is the seduction part. He set that frame when he got there, and that's what led him to getting what it is he was looking for. And none of it was him being scared of losing the girl. Guy literally went through her fridge, pissed with the door open, told her that she's messy, pushed her away from him when she got close to him on the couch, and then they did their thing. It's crazy. People, just the human beings, I think, in general, we want what we can't have. The whole point of this is to be the unobtainable, attainable guy.
If you get to her place, one of the things that I like to do is have her help set up the seduction, so it almost kind of turns it on its head, where it's almost like she's seducing me. Like ask if she has any candles. She can light the candles. Things like that.
Mm-hmm. Stinks in here. You're such an asshole.
But you know what I mean? If you're having her help set the scene, then she's a part of the scene.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Does that answer your question for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
All right.
You other three.
Man, I don't know if anybody else has a problem with this, but I kind of know generally how like an interaction should go, the steps. And I can do it with a girl that's kind of average, or like a 7, on my scale. But when I come up to a girl who's really, I don't know, she's really tall, she looks high value, she has really, fancy clothes and jewelry on and everything. Sometimes at some point in the interaction, I just feel like I don't have the value to measure up. I feel like I can't demonstrate value to her.
The one thing I can tell you is, if you're the exception to the rule, if you're not doing the same things that everybody else is doing, you're already showing value.
Okay.
Which is a lot of which you're learning now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is being that exception to the rule, being completely different than every other guy that she's likely to have encountered. Maybe ever. So, and then once, because I had issue with that too, where I started, where I was starting to see some success, and before having that success, these were girls I thought were way out of my league, and I didn't feel worthy for them to give me their time, let alone hook up or whatever, and then once you start having those successes, you'll start like, okay, this is me now. I do have that value. Because see, here's the thing. You've got friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all those people in your life, they all see the value in which having you around. If they didn't, they wouldn't be your friends. They wouldn't be, well, I guess they'd still be your family, but you see what I'm saying, you know? All those things that make you you, that are those like cool things that you're into and that, you know, that are part of your personality and the things that attract those people and keep them in your life, are the same things that you show through with that, you know, that 9 or that 10 or whatever, you know? And once she's able to see that by you demonstrating it, you know, demonstrating higher value, then all you're doing is just showing who you are. But here's a vehicle to make that happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you start having those successes, you start to come to the realization, well, like, okay, I guess I am valuable enough. I guess I am that person. I'm just the last to know it. Because you're the one that's in your head. You're the one that's thinking things through. She's not. Your friends aren't. It's you are. You know? So once she comes to that realization that, yeah, you're a cool, valuable guy, you start having those successes, man. You'll see it too. You know?
Yeah, it's all about your own personal intrinsic value, man. I was always taught, like, by one of my mentors, like, you know, before he goes up to and would approach women, he gets nervous, he gets scared. Especially, you know, say ones that are like, you know, and he had a foot fetish thing, so if she was like wearing sandals or open-toed heels, he was like drooling and shit. But, you know, what he would say is that he would just kind of imagine her, you know, having diarrhea.
Yeah,
Right.
I do that.
And, like, you know, she's definitely had it at one point in time. and like, she's probably done some really fucking
She probably bled
nasty-
through her pad or.
God damn, come on, man. I don't want to get all this.
Well, just saying.
Yeah, you know, she's probably bleeding out her fucking ass at the point in time you're talking to her. Who knows? But she's like, you know, she's probably done some real foul things in her life. Or she's probably, you know what I'm saying, had, like, she's just a person. Just a person. And this is where, like, putting physical beauty on such a high scale, it needs to be, like, way lower. Okay? Like, okay, I'm open to talking to you because you're physically attractive. But if you are a shitty person, your value is way down here.
It's kind of like, you know, just from doing real estate, there's plenty of houses that have great curb appeal. You go inside and you're like, how did this happen? Like, it looks so nice outside. Why does it look like this? You know? And it's much the same. The curb appeal brought you through the door. The inside pushed you right back out it, you know? So, what do you think? Why do you think that you're not stacking up? That you're not as valuable or more valuable than they are?
Well, I mean, I guess judging by what you guys just said, it sounds like I am just putting them on a pedestal and they're like not, like, it sounds like I need to like humanize them more.
Yes,
I guess, like
100%, absolutely, 100%. I mean, yeah, that's exactly it. She's not an angelic creature, trust me. You know, she's not. You know, she was a little kid once that had little kid experiences, maybe got bullied in school. Who knows? You know, and truth be told, you know, the more attractive the girl, generally, the lower the self-esteem in a lot of cases. And because she might have self-esteem in terms of her looks, but she's always wondering, you know, is this person just talking to me because of how I look? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always feel like they have something to prove, you know, in terms of I'm smart too. I'm cool. I'm adventurous. You know, that kind of thing, because everybody's putting them on a pedestal. You know, they're way up here and treating them like God's gift to men,
What's up, Chuck?
you know? And so,
You guys did a lot of chat. Still can't see it.
And then on the inside, like they know that they're not like gods. Basically.
right. Yeah, because they've had those experiences that have knocked them down inside a few pegs, you know? So, yeah, man. I mean, like Mike said, they're people, you know, just like you. No different,
Okay.
you know?
Truth is, you're way more important in your life than they are in your life. For real. If you go and talk to them, they blow you out, and they notice the next day, heaven forbid, they're no longer with us. Okay? Your life still goes on. Right? But if you don't exist the day after, it's pretty important to your life. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, you have to understand, it's a pleasure for her to have the ability to meet someone like you. We are people that developed different skills early on in life. The naturals and the guys that have been doing this for a while, just like are always been good with women, their set of skills are completely different than ours. And I feel as if there's a lot more from the guys that I met, a lot more like depth. You know what I'm saying? A lot more to learn, just so much more to learn from you. That's why if you ask women from the ages of 18 to 24, 25, what kind of man they're looking for, like what's their perfect ideal male, they're going to tell you, well, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes, tall, you know, heavy build, I want him to dress like this, you know, like, it's not like physical kind of stuff, right? You ask a woman that's a little bit, you know, 25 or older, usually, this has been my experience, but like she's gonna be like, well, I want to be, you know, funny and smart and successful, family oriented, completely different what it is she's looking for. So just know that like you have so much more to offer than what has been lied and told to you before. Okay? So that's where the real value comes in, is having value on yourself. And know that at the end of the day, you're the most important person in your life. And you literally only have a lot of good to offer this person. Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, like a long-term relationship, or it's, you know, a dick with a mole on it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, also, you know, if you ever hear like men and women talking about like meeting somebody new, you know, like if you ask a guy, like okay, you met somebody new, we'll say, right, and you're gonna start dating this girl or whatever, you know, most guys are gonna be like, well, what does she look like, right?
Yeah.
Conversely, when women's friends ask the woman when she starts seeing a new guy, generally it's, who is he? You see what I'm saying? They're not asking. They're asking, what does he do? What does he do for work? His personality, things like that. Yeah, like eventually they'll probably come around to, you know, well, like what's he look like? But the initial thing is, who is he? You know, so if you're able to present who you are, that's the most valuable thing. You know, and all this is a vehicle for you to be able to present that the best way possible.
Okay.
You know, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Like, I guess when I'm talking to a girl that I've been hanging out with, like, it's really easy for me just to like let my personality like flow out.
Yeah.
And I do feel valuable around like certain girls, but like, I guess if you put like a really like one of the girls I'm talking about, like a stunner in front of me, and then you ask me like, Troy, what's valuable about you? Like I feel like I wouldn't be able to like think of anything.
Well, the same thing that would be valuable to the 7 is going to be valuable to the 10.
Okay.
Because they're looking for the same things, the same qualities. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
they're looking for a man of value. You know, so remember all those Las Vegas qualities that we talked about. You know, remember we sat down upstairs and I was going through the Las Vegas qualities?
Yeah.
All those qualities are things that make you attractive. Okay? The 7's looking for that. Well, so is the 10. They're both looking for the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it doesn't. You don't have to change with the. You stay the same. You know, because they're both looking for the same thing. You know, if I'm, you know, if I'm broke, right, and Mike's got $1 million, and there's a $10 million lottery ticket on the floor, we both want it.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that $10 million ticket has the same value to it, and we both want it. It might mean more to me because I'm broke, but at the end of the day, we both still want it.
We got a question in chat.
Oh. All right.
Wanna read it? Anyone wanna read it?
All right.
I can read it.
All right. Junk Grave says, quick question. I asked a girl out for a specific time and date, and she saying sorry, she was busy that night. I replied, no worries. Is there another good night? Another night that's good for you? I feel like this response is kind of needy, but I don't know how else I could have played it. I probably should have asked her for her schedule before going out. Yeah, that's not how I would have responded to that.
No, I mean, it depends on how long you've known her. Like, that's like a real, like, a casual, like, fine, okay, you know, it's kind of playing it safe. I don't know where you guys are in your real. You just asked this girl, and it's the first time. So, I would kind of make it to where it was like a good thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's like, oh, good, that's awesome actually, because my buddy just called me. I was kind of contemplating going out with you or going out with them, so this actually works out for the best. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better that you're not doing this. Like, it's almost like your idea. So one of the things I did too in the beginning, because I had to create value myself, is I would flake on my first dates. I would set them up, and then like, you know, a couple hours before the date, I would cancel.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I was afraid of them canceling, and it would happen sometimes where they would cancel, but like, I had to be the valuable one. So like, instead of giving her the ability to cancel, I would be able to cancel. I would cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I kind of adjusted my mindset of like, you know, I don't have to be so much of the whim, and whenever something like this would happen, it's always a good thing.
I like taking on the persona of being the hot chick.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, you fit the part.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you have that, if you carry the same persona as a 10, all you're doing is showing value.
Right.
You know, like I mean, I wouldn't ask if there's another night that's good for you. I would say something to the effect of like what Mike said.
It's not
Yeah.
that it's bad. Nothing
Yeah.
you said was bad.
Right. Yeah, but I would have said something to the effect of like, well, you know, Friday I'm going to wherever I'm going. We'll just a concert. We'll just say, sake of argument. Friday I'm going to a concert. Maybe you should tag along. But I mean, be like actually going somewhere. You know what I mean? Something that you're actually doing. You know, and just like that's kind of a line that I use all the time. Is maybe you should tag along. You know, and let her decide if it's something that she wants to go to or not. And if she's like, yeah, I'll be there or whatever, then great if she shows up. But if she doesn't, I was still doing it anyway. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and there's probably a lot that goes into it too. Like, was it from a cold approach? Was it? From
Yeah, there's a lot of
feeling?
context.
You know, like did we have a phone call? It's very important.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I for me, like I need the verbal confirmation from the date when I'm setting it up.
Mhm.
I can't just get like a text message about, you know what I'm saying, when we're gonna hang out or not. So I approached her downtown this afternoon, applied for 10 minutes. She seemed interested. Yeah. So I don't know what your you know, like life's like, and on a Saturday and an afternoon downtown Detroit. My guess is there may have been a chance you could have had your date right in there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I kind of read this wrong a little bit.
What?
I thought he meant he asked her out like a while ago, and tonight was the date night. So this isn't a total disaster. Should I ask her schedule before? No, man, don't ask her on her time scale.
What do you guys think? Have you guys dealt with any of this?
Yeah, I usually give them 2 days to choose from.
Yeah, I think that's the best approach.
Slot close.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the best approach.
I'll either do that or I had something similar happen, and I didn't say that. She was like, "I think you're forgetting I work and I'm in school full time." So what I did was like, okay, those are the only times that really work for me. So I was like, what does your schedule usually look like? That way I don't have to keep going back. I give her a date, no, that doesn't work, no, that doesn't work. She just gives me the dates,
Yeah.
and I'm like, she gets said, Wednesday and whatever. I was like, okay, Wednesdays aren't good. And she was like, Sunday afternoons around 2. And I was just like, instead of saying, oh, okay, 2, I was like, how about 3:30ish? That way
Yeah.
I don't just say 2, I'm like, okay, well, how about 3?
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
that worked with this chick, maybe some other chicks, you guys
Yeah.
have a better,
I mean, I'll do that, like, whether it's for a client or anybody else. Like, these are the times I have available. But none of that works for me, then I'm like, all right, so what does your schedule look like? You know? And then when they start, but what I would do is when they start naming off the dates, like, say she says, Thursday at 8, I'm good. Then I'll just assume the close and be like, Thursday at 8 works. Here's what we're doing. You know?
And yeah, that's actually true. I probably should have just did what you said, like, okay, Sunday at 2. But then I had sent her that text that you just said where I was like, okay, that works, here's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like to throw in, I'll text you the day of, make sure you wear something cute so we match.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
know,
cool.
But that conversation was on like a Wednesday, and I didn't text her again until Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
like I said.
Did you meet up with her?
Yeah, I did 2 or 3 different venues.
Yeah. Success.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing, like, everything can work, like, there's no, this is the only straight, we don't say, like, this is the only way, you have to say this, and that's not true. I for one am very big on, and we can come back to this, like, I'm very big on, like, my time and my, like, my self-worth to myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like, if I'm going to take the time to talk to you, and then essentially use memory in my phone to put your number in it, and then take time to text or call your ass, and then take time to plan a day and time to see you where I could be doing a lot of other things,
Yeah.
right? Don't waste my time, I'll waste your time. Here's the thing, if you're not for real, like, if you don't really want to, like, spend time, that's cool, I'm fine with that. Like, I would like to take you out and get to know you better. But if not, then, you know what I'm saying, like, just erase my number, I'll erase yours, you go about your day, I go about mine. That comes from, like, so much, like, value in me, and it comes from, like, a place of, it doesn't matter whether you say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to be the one who's going to enjoy this experience going out with me. You're the one that's, like, saying winning in a sense, because I'm pretty cool in my own eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the coolest person on the planet. I'm sure she has great things to offer and great conversation, but, like, if she's not with it, if she doesn't want to value my time or me as a person, there's somebody that will,
Yeah.
So, with my times and, like, when I'm trying to do like a date or whatnot, I put a lot of emphasis on, like, giving them a way out. Like, just let me know now. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys that, we might text back and forth a little bit, and then when it comes time to actually meeting up, I get that message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tell her that I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to, I don't want to string you along. I hope you don't want to string me along. I'm a big advocate in treating people how I want to be treated.
Right.
Here's the truth: is I enjoy talking to you. I've been talking to you for like 10 minutes right here in downtown Detroit. It's felt like 10 years now, and they always like laugh at that one. But I just want to see if there's something there, because there's, like, you run this X amount of people your entire lifetime, and it's not very many. And so I just, I feel as if every single time I have a chance to make some sort of human connection, see where it goes. I don't think we'd be this far if it wasn't for anything.
Well said.
Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
The psychological mindfuck.
Yeah.
You manipulator, you.
I know. But like, it's the truth though. What's the truth is, like, I don't got time to fucking waste. He could be out. He could have been here, right? I'm just saying. I don't know for sure, but, like,
Yeah.
I got a date tonight. I'm not gonna go to that fucking stupid meetup with a bunch of dicks. You know what I'm saying? Cocks swinging around and stuff. I'm not gonna go to that. You know, I got this date.
Mm-hmm.
And then she blows him off. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there. Literally have lost friends. Lost friends before I got into the shit. Because I put a girl in front of myself or in front of things that actually were you know, of true value to me. So, I don't got time. I don't got time.
Yeah.
And when I said, like, you know, even if I had the time, I don't got time for this kind of bullshit in games. You know? So, like, if we're gonna actually, like, exchange numbers and talk right now and you're feeling I'm feeling it, then let's actually do something we can do. You know? Value my time, I value yours. So, not to say that, like, you know, she's not telling the truth or not, you know, she's telling a lie or whatnot. I don't know. It just makes it easier for me, and I feel like I kind of lock it down better, in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
To where it doesn't feel so high pressure on the moment, because girls will say, like, yeah, we're hanging out, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna do something, just because they're trying to get out of, you know, talking to a stranger. You know, like, that's where the vague numbers come from, you know? Because they don't, a lot of girls you talk to, man, a lot of, like, high value women have had poor experiences with men when they tell them no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Poor experiences. Literally was just with a young lady and her friend was FaceTiming her. She was on a Tinder date and the guy got her drunk. She doesn't want to have sex with the guy and he won't let her leave. You know, he's like, oh, you're drinking, say, you know, say it's cold outside.
Maybe it's cold outside.
But that's like, you know, that's you have to understand from their point of view. You know, public speaking 101 is knowing your audience. So
John Gray says, in retrospect, maybe I should have just said, no worries, I'll try you another
to
time.
clarify first. To clarify.
Oh, to clarify. Oh, okay. Oops, I missed that. I texted asking her out on Tuesday at 8 at a specific place. She responded, hey, sorry to get back to you sooner. I'm actually visiting my parents Tuesday night. I replied, no worries. Is there another night that's good for you? In retrospect, maybe I should have said, no worries, I'll try you another time. I mean, yeah, I guess. I think it would be better for you to suggest, like, hey, I'm doing this, and you know, maybe you should tag along. I think that's probably better, but, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. It's not how I would have did it, but, you know.
There's not anything wrong with it.
I mean, it basically, you don't want to come across as being like you're chasing her or needy, you know, that kind of thing. Like, oh, please, please hang out with me. I'll, bend over backwards and rearrange my life to make sure that that I can hang out with you,
Keep going back to the same shit. It's all value.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is. Like one of the main things that you will gain from pushing yourself, talking to other guys, watching videos, going out.
I already got pussy.
Okay, fuck that one up too. But my bad, man. I love you to death. Dude, I appreciate everything, those kind words the other day, for real.
For sure, man.
So, yeah, man. Absolutely. Anytime, we're here, and next time the young lady texts you and it's 8:00 on a Tuesday, you can ask us 8:00 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, thanks for throwing the question out there. Definitely encourage that. I think, as you probably know, definitely try to drive that home.
I'm cool with his response. It was subtle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was non-threatening, and it's you gotta understand you are yourself.
Yeah.
So.
You should definitely give her a call, though. That's definitely.
Phone calls are so important.
Anybody else got anything?
Burning desire. What's your burning desires? What do you like? I know one. We touched about it a little bit, but I know one gentleman said that he was interested in learning more about threesomes and how to do that.
Oh yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But I'm telling you, you're having trouble fucking one. You want to fuck two now at the same time?
Bro, I gotta show you something after this. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Okay. Did you still want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
How many have you had?
So 2 in my lifetime.
Okay.
So actually, they were probably March region, March, April, whatever. And then I got a new girl who. That one, it blew up in my face. And then I got this new girlfriend, and we got kind of in a little bit more of a relationship. I don't know if we're a girlfriend or whatever it is, but so she says she's down with doing that. But then, like for example, one time that we gave an attempt, we were at a concert, and I think that the reason it failed, she opened a lot of doors for me to make it happen. It was just kind of me. I didn't do a good job at guiding the situation along. The logistics wasn't there. And then a few other attempts where I tried to close the deal. She kind of talked about how she wasn't ready for that yet and stuff like that. So now that's kind of where we are. I mean, it's where we're just kind of back and forth. It's like, okay, is this something you are into or not? If you're not, then
Do you think there's a chance that she told you that so you would like her more?
Yeah, I get that vibe, but when I bring that up, it's kind of like, oh no, I'm into it. But then
Well,
sometimes
you got it.
I push the deal or push a little bit more. It kind of there's some kickback, I guess, and basically from this particular girl. She just keeps telling me she wants to happen naturally, Bob. The typical answer. So.
All right. Well, it's never going to happen organically.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. I mean, I guess lightning could strike.
Yeah.
I guess you could win the lottery. You know what I mean? It's not likely just to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely have to lead. Instead of you know what, I would suggest stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's likely to get you nowhere.
Okay.
And just lead.
Okay.
Just lead the interaction. If you can get it to where you have them both at the same place at the same time. One way to do that, I think, without putting pressure.
Alcohol.
Well, yeah, that.
Lots of alcohol.
But second to that is
alcohol.
drugs. No. Third to that, no. But
Ruthless aggression.
Nah, man.
We're giving you all the tools, really. Drugs, aggression, alcohol.
If you, say for instance, it kind of depends on the context, I suppose. But we'll just say, for example, you're at a. We'll say you're at a bar, okay, and you meet this girl, you kind of hit it off. You have your girl with you. You know what I mean? Don't be hitting on the other girl, but invite her over to your table, that kind of thing. Talk to her for a minute, then you leave.
Okay.
You leave, come back in 15 minutes.
With another girl.
But the idea is to let them get to know each other and be comfortable with each other, on a level of they know each other now, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
The reason I said too with another girl, if you can do that, it's baller shit. But you can come and bring some other girls around after you know what I'm saying, essentially introduce them, and then take the other girls and walk away, go to the bar, whatever. So she has a chance to, because they're going to girl talk at that point. They know each other now, right? We talk for 10 minutes. So she can be like, so what's up with you two, right? And hopefully she kind of picks up the ball because that girl's going to be interested in you, and the girl that you're with is obviously with you. She can kind of pick up the ball too. You can't really force that kind of stuff to happen, and it's not going to happen unless you do something. So the best thing to do is it's like Futurama talked about it when they had the God episode, where it's like if you do just a little bit and just enough, it's like you've done nothing at all, right? And that's just it. Do nothing but do everything. but make it look as if you've done nothing at all.
Yeah, because if she wants it organically, that's the best way that you could do it is make it seem organically, but it's actually orchestrated.
Yeah, that's how I kind of interpreted it.
Yeah.
You can't make if they don't like each other, you know. And that's because women are very catty. From my, you know, what I'm saying, perception and from my experiences, they're very, very catty. Even with girls, they'll sleep with you with, you know. Like, well, I'll be having a threesome with them, you know what I'm saying, and everything's going great. The next day, we'll have a threesome, and my chick's fucking punching me in the face. not a sexual thing, but she's like, you know, like pay more attention to me. So, for one, like you gotta understand that you're probably dealing with a more emotional, jealous individual, right? Than you're accustomed to. You have to, you know, like take in consideration her, right? And to just make it to where it's like, you know, this is just this. You know what I'm saying? Where you and I got going on is a completely different level. You know? So, yeah. I make it pretty known what it is I want, so. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, what about so like friends that are girls? So, you know, some things that I get, it's like, oh, I like her,